Back in May of last year, veteran NASA astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken blasted off from Florida in a test flight to the International Space Station. Not only were they making history, in their private sector SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. The pair also made the journey kitted out in matching SpaceX spacesuits. Both happily confirmed the new SpaceX suits were vastly superior to the bulky orange pumpkin jobs that were in favor during their heyday on the shuttle program. So what was so special about these spacesuits? Bob and Doug both praised the spacesuits, saying they'll give it a 5-star rating and that they're much easier to get in and out of in 0G. They stated that the suits were comfortable and that the company did an outstanding job on the spacesuits. These spacesuits are strictly for wear during rocket launches and landings. These new suites are designed to serve as emergency bubbles of Earth-like pressure in a crisis. They've been rigorously tested, says SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, in what he calls double vacuum pressure, with astronauts inside. We can put on suits and go through a scenario where the suits are going to inflate, Bob Behnken says. Behnken is at pains to point out that no such training was as available with the old-school pumpkin suits. That level of training, adds an impressed Doug Hurley. Versus PowerPoints and virtual presentations are really important. It's a huge win. The new space helmet protects wearers from the fearsome many decibels racket of the engine and also houses microphones and speakers in order to facilitate clear two-way communications between the crew and mission control on the ground. The 3D painted helmet also houses nifty mechanisms which control visor retraction and locking as well as the necessary gas valves. Those smart gloves aren't just capable of maintaining healthy ambient pressure across the astronaut's precious hands. They're optimized for use on the Dragon capsule's onboard touchscreens. So our astronauts are happy and safe from calamity. One of the things that was important in the development of the suit was to make it easy to use. Something that the crew just has to literally plug in when they sit down, and then the suit kind of takes care of itself from there, so the suit is really kind of one part of the bigger Dragon system. It's really part of the vehicle, so we think of it as kind of a suit seat system, so the seat the crew is in a lot of ways working together, and so it made sense that they were designing Dragon in-house to also design the suit. For keeping astronauts alive in an emergency decompression scenario, these new suites are flame-proof and designed to keep the occupants cool using piped-in airflow. This cooling air and gases for that all-important pressurization are piped in through the astronaut's chair, which was designed in tandem with the suit, so both pieces of kit are fully simpatico. Connection to the suit itself happens via an umbilical cord that joins discreetly at the thigh. Electrical and communication cables also enter the suit at this point. When the crew gets in the capsule, they get in their seats and they plug the suit into the umbilical that's attached to the seat, and the umbilical is providing everything that the suit needs. It also provides gas when needed to pressurize the suit, so it's really a single point that lets the suit do all the things that it needs to do. It's light, 2-40% lighter than previous spacesuits. But that isn't what makes them truly special. Even though they were made to keep the crew safe, it is also required to keep them inspired. Are you a fan of Avengers? Because if you are, you would be extremely delighted to hear who designed SpaceX suit. Elon Musk and his team designed their spacesuit from Jose Fernandez, a leading Hollywood costume designer. His work has been worn by big-screen superstars from Wolverine to Wonder Woman, Spider-Man to the Avengers, the X-Men to Captain America, and more. Initially in 2016, when he first heard about this, he was unaware about what exactly SpaceX is. Fernandez spent several months drafting and redrafting designs with his new SpaceX boss. Musk, unconventional as ever, insisted Fernandez take his initial cues from the world of formal wear. He kept saying anybody looks better in a tux, no matter what size or shape they are, says Fernandez. So the goal was to make a spacesuit looking less like a pumpkin. It's incredibly hard to balance aesthetics and function, Musk says of this process. It's easy to do either separately. You see spacesuits in the movies, they look good, they don't work well. You can make a spacesuit that works, but it doesn't look good, because fundamentally it's a pressure suit that has to survive in a vacuum. The flanks of these new SpaceX suits are lent definition with subtly darker panels that create a tapering effect, molding the astronaut's torso into a more fetching form. Kind of like a tux. Add to that masculine squared-off shoulders, sleek seams running from collarbone to knee, and the retro superhero charm of knee-high boots, and you begin to see how these might one day turn heads on the launch pad. So slim is the finished suit. Indeed, Musk was forced to issue a clarification that it's actually real, and not a mere mock-up. It definitely works, he insisted. You can just jump in a vacuum chamber with it. It's fine. Other than the amazing features of the spacesuit, it is not a particular general suit. It is specifically designed for the specific astronauts for proper fit and their comfort. So it is more like a personal thing. Moving further, you would be wondering, how much is the SpaceX spacesuit cost? Ready your hearts because the amount is going to shock you for sure. It is estimated to cost $12 million. This suit is built up of Kevlar and Novax, which is fire resistant and also protects the crew members from thermal, chemical radiations. With these developments in the field of science and technology, the day isn't far from where we would find people actually traveling to the red planet.